Ben over at Dusty Ranch did a drag race this summer, but the timing wasn't right for me to get my video out with his. So I'm trying to slip that in here somewhere for you. But I timed the hydraulics when they seem to be working pretty good. So I can use that against this. The hydraulics seem to be working fine. They're not hesitating or anything. So you are supposed to change the oil, the hydraulic oil filter every 500 hours apparently. I don't recall seeing that in the book, so I'm gonna look. But if that's true, okay, so I'm behind a couple hundred hours, actually 150. And could that cause it? Maybe. I'm gonna try to drain the hydraulics, replace the hydraulic filter, see if I can get all that done without freezing my hands off, so I can go mill this maple up tomorrow. It's a good size one. I quartered it up with the chainsaw, so stick around for that video. But the hydraulics do seem to be working right now. I don't normally run them with the engine off. I don't like it because it puts a drain on the battery. I like the engine running, then my alternator's running at the same time, charging the battery up. So, all right, well, they ran okay. I did hear the whine a couple times, and it seemed like the loader slowed a little bit a couple times. Side supports go down fast, come up a little slow. So we're gonna pop this guy out and have a look inside. All right. Well, get out what we need first. I have to tell you, folks, my fingers are cold. This lid has been bent a little bit. If you run a sawmill at all, then you know things get a little out of hand now and then. In this case, a tractor. Whew, sawdust. One question that I don't have an answer for yet is whether or not this guy's got a drain plug. Oh, there's one at the bottom right there. Okay, sweet. So we're gonna replace that, put all new hydraulic fluid in it. If you don't have a high pressure nozzle like this, you want one. Of course, it just blows around, right? Eventually it blows out though. All right, so first thing I gotta do is check this thing. I hate these plastic caps. I think it kind of screwed up. All right, folks, let's just stick this guy in here. We're down. If I go here, we go down quite a ways before we get any fluid. 12 millimeters. Move that out of the way. Goes to here. Yeah, I mean, we've got hydraulic fluid, so you figure I'm holding it to there, so it's going over an inch. It's a little low, right? Because it should be here, so it should come up to about here. But what we're going to do is we're going to change this guy. So I've got to get a pan under this, drain it out, and go get some more ATF. So I'm going to put these caps loosely on, because what I don't want is a bunch of dust getting in here. You ever think to yourself, you know exactly where something is, that one's too small, and then you can't find it? Well, yeah, I went through that just now. Alright, let's try this with a soft approach first. I need to use a big crescent, I think. Alright, let's try bigger convincer. Oh my goodness, folks. You tell I haven't done this at all. I should have. I hope that bucket's big enough for this. It's gonna get messy here. I hate drain pans for that very reason. Look at how clean that stuff is. That is clean hydraulic fluid, folks. Alright, so this guy here, which works good for the engine, it's too small for the hydraulic pump. So I gotta go find another one. So I'm gonna head up to the house, look around there, look in the shop. If I can't find one, I will go to the store and get one because I need some hydraulic fluid. I'm gonna save this stuff. It's a little dirty because it's in a dirty oil drain pan, but I'm gonna save it because I can use it to grease my rails with. So why let it go, right? We'll just grease the rails with it. So I'm gonna go look for one of these and get some hydraulic fluid and we'll get back to it. So stick around. All right, folks. Well, got what I needed. So let's get this show on the road. I don't know how many times I've misplaced things like oil filter wrenches. I really don't. You know, now I've got a shop I can actually make work a little better, I think. So, all right. Maybe hang them all up in one place or something. I believe these can be just purchased at any auto parts store or something. I always put a little lube on the rubber seal. I didn't bother. I went ahead and got it from Wood-Mizer just because I was in a hurry and I was on the phone with them and I knew they'd get it to me right away, which they did. And because I'm working during the week, look at that, I gotta go get this sorted out. But because I'm working during the week, it's a challenge sometimes to go to the store. That hand tight, and then, you know, I've always lived by the rule that oil filters should be not much more than hand tight. Just tight enough so they don't leak. So I'm not reefing on this guy here. I'm just trying to make sure it's snug. That's it. We don't want to over tighten it. That would be silly. Okay, so we'll put this back in the bottom. Got a little dirty sitting in there with all the sawdust. There's sawdust. There's sawdust everywhere here. Unbelievable, really. They had a little seal on here. You really shouldn't need thread tape or something on a drain plug. That style, National Pipe Thread, you know, that's designed, I think anyway, it's made so that it doesn't need that. It should seal itself. Okay, put this back on. And that one again, if it doesn't leak, don't over tighten it. So I put it on snug, but I'm not gonna crank it down, right? For hydraulic fluid, Wood-Mizer says use any ATF, automatic transmission fluid. And you know, if they don't specify any specific kind, well, okay, you know, then use what you got. I think a lot of times, you know, brands claim, oh, this is the best, or this is the best, or whatever, but honestly, it's just hydraulic fluid. So I'm mixing it here. Probably there's some out there that would say, don't do that. Whatever, I think it's fine. Now, what I will do, see if I can find my little dipstick. I need to be able to check where the hydraulic fluid is. So, you know, you might recall, we had it come up to about here. And I could mark that with a pen. See if my Sharpie works. There's 2 marks on here, so this one here could have been just from it creeping up the stick, and that's probably where it really was. So the first thing we're going to do is just swipe it off and then run it down in here real quick, as far down as I can go. And then I can see I've only got about 1 inch on the stick. Okay, so So we need to add almost, whoa! A lot of it was coming up out of the other side. Not sure how much I need to add because there's no sight glass. We're 2/3 of the way. I think what happens is it just comes up. Oh. Okay, we're right up to the bottom mark. It's still sucking her down. Plastic cap. That's just to me, does it make sense? Alright, there we go. Okay, now I need to take my excess and get rid of it. Cap on that one, and the excess I will use. So it totally can be used for lubing the rails. Nothing wrong with that. It's going to get dirty anyway, right? Just need to mark the jug with old oil on there or something, so you don't try to put this back in the mill. Alright. Clean the rest of that up later. Perfect. Alright, let's see what happens when we fire this thing up. Hear air bubbles. Hear that? So that high whine is the problem. That's the near toe board roller. Yeah, hear that? All right, well, folks, nothing's changed. New filter, new hydraulic fluid. Ran it, got everything warmed up, drained the battery. So guys that are running their hydraulics without the engine running, I kind of don't understand that, because you've got an alternator on the engine which is charging up the battery while you're running your hydraulics. So you're not draining the battery at all. There's no draw on the battery. And if you know anything about batteries, batteries have cycles, life cycles. And if you drain a battery all the way down, you completely drain a battery, you cut that battery's life cycles in half. So like a deep cycle battery, it has like 3,000 cycles. That means that it can be drawn down to, I think it's 20% depth of discharge is what they use, and then recharged back up. That deep cycle battery, that's its purpose. If you draw it to 50%, you lose something like 25% of those cycles. If you completely drain the battery, you lose half of them. So if you think about 3,000 cycles, that's not even one a day for 10 years, right? You're talking, what's that, about 8 years? And that's a deep cycle battery meant for like off-grid situations or golf carts or whatever. The car battery, and probably the battery that's in here, and I'll have to go look, that's probably not a, this one's probably not a deep cycle battery, and your car battery certainly not. So if this is like a starting battery, they're not deep cycle. They're meant to be run with the engine running and the alternator turning and charging the battery. So if you're trying to run your mill off of that battery, it's not made to be drained constantly. You'll kill your battery in short order. I don't run my hydraulics without the motor running. I was doing it today because I wanted to hear the pump. It's a little easier to hear when the motor's not running. So anyway, in conclusion, the mill's not fixed. I've got a problem. It may very well be the brushes in the motor itself, in which case I'm gonna have to pull the pump motor off and put new brushes in it and put it back on. So wish me luck on that, because I haven't done that. I haven't done that kind of work in a long time. So I gotta call James at Wood Miser. I'll try to call him on Monday. double check, get him to send me brushes if that's what he thinks it is. So stick with me. We're going to get this mill fixed. So stand by, guys. We're going to get it figured out. All right. Listen, folks. I got to get this cleaned up. So y'all have a great day. The old jar hit out.